My name's Isabel. I'm your academic liaison librarian for hospitality and tourism, and today I'll be talking about how to find information for your lodging assignment. All of the databases that I'll talk about today are available through your course resource help page, so you can either follow the link on the slides or just next to the library search bar on the library homepage. Select your subject from the drop-down list under Course Resources and Support. So there's quite a lot of different aspects for this assignment, and you'll need to find information to support your arguments throughout from the relevant literature and some of the market research databases that we've got. So there are some stages of the assignment where you need to talk about general concepts and definitions. So defining the lodging sector, choosing your subsector, and concepts like the guest cycle. So textbooks are always a good place to start for that kind of information to help you to develop your understanding of the concepts. So you can use library search to identify general texts about hotel operations. So I tried searching for specific terms like the guest cycle, and it might be that those are included in those books, but they're not in the information about the book that we have on library search. And so it wasn't picking up a lot. But if you look for general hotel operations management books, then they will cover a lot of those concepts. You can use the format filter on the left-hand side of your search results in library search to narrow down, for example, particularly to ebooks. I'm going to start by talking about the more academic information, so journal articles that you can find on our databases. Also industry magazines and websites, and then we'll move on to talking about the market research databases. So for academic journal articles, Hospitality and Tourism Complete and its sister database, Business Source Complete, that are both part of the EBSCO host family, are really useful places to search. We've also got Emerald and Google Scholar. So lots of people are used to using Google Scholar. I've put a link here in the slide, a trick to tell Google to pick up your Brooks access to articles so that when you search, it will show you where we have access to an article through the Brooks library, which means you don't have to then do another search in library search. So I'm going to do an example search in Hospitality and Tourism Complete in a moment. It's also worth being aware that Hospitality and Tourism Complete and Business Source Complete have trade magazines. So these are aimed at professionals in the hospitality industry. They're not academic in the same way, but they're good for getting an industry perspective about certain issues. So these EBSCO databases are a mixture of academic and professional information. There's also a link here to useful websites for hospitality and tourism. So those are things like trade and professional organisations, the UN World Tourism Organization, that kind of thing. So those are worth having a look at as well. Let's take a look now at Hospitality and Tourism Complete. I'll start from the Course Resource Help page and choose Hospitality and Tourism Complete. There are lots of things you could search for in this database. So you could search for information on your specific lodging subsector in the UK to find out if there are any articles about that. You could search for names of specific companies. What I'm going to do is use it to find out more about the hotel classification system in the UK. I tried a few different searches before making this video. So I tried hotel classification, hotel accreditation, rankings, ratings. The one that I came up with that I think has the most relevant results is actually hotel grading. And I think that's because it filters out information that is about user-generated reviews and ratings and focuses on the official system. So in the second box, I'm going to start typing United Kingdom, but because there are lots of different words to describe the United Kingdom, I'm going to choose United Kingdom or UK or Britain. That will increase the number of search results because it will pick up articles that have any of those words in. So as we scroll down, we can see that there are some useful articles. There's a mixture in here of academic journal articles, which are peer-reviewed, written by researchers, and periodicals, which are the trade magazines. So this one's from Leisure and Hospitality Business, and they are aimed at professionals in that industry. So you can use both. It's good to get a mixture of academic and industry sources in an assignment like this. To restrict the results a bit further, you can use the date filter. So we might be interested in only results that are a bit more recent. You can see there's nothing very recent coming up here. It finishes in 2011. It might be that if you try some different keywords, you'll come up with a few things that we didn't find in this initial search. Let's move on now to looking at industry information on the lodging market. So we've got 3 databases that are really good for that. MarketLine has detailed market analysis. I'll show you in a moment how to find that. Passport is particularly good for data and has similar kind of information. There's a report there on the lodging industry in the UK. And then Mintel provides market research, so that's more about consumer opinion. So we'll look at each of those databases and see what we can find that might help you with this assignment. I'll start again from the course resource help page and click on MarketLine. This takes me to the home page. In the search box, I'm going to search for hotels. Some of the smaller lodging subsectors might not be covered, but the hotel and motels report covers quite a wide range of accommodation types. You can see here it's brought back quite a random selection of countries. So I'm going to use the geography filter on the left to narrow it down to the United Kingdom. Here you can see there's the hotels and motels report. There's also a more general report on travel and tourism, which might be useful to you as well. I'll click on the hotel and motels report to start with. It comes up in a PDF format, which you can download. If I scroll down to the table of contents, you can see the kinds of areas that are covered. This is looking at it from the business side. It's looking at forecasting demand in the market, looking at current trends, and also the competitive landscape, so the major players. And the 5 forces analysis helps with this to show the factors that are driving competition in this sector in the UK. Let's have a look now at Passport. The homepage of Passport looks a bit intimidating because of the number of boxes and options you've got. For the travel industry, I would probably use the search analysis box here. So you can, as the industry, scroll down to the bottom of this menu and choose Travel. And then for the geography, you could choose United Kingdom. And then click Go. And you'll get all of the passport reports on the travel industry in the UK. You might need to scroll down a bit to find them, but there is, for example, a report on travel in the UK and one on lodging in the UK. So this report will talk you through some of the key trends over the last year in the lodging industry, and it's got a lot of this useful data that you can refer to in your assignment. So we can compare different types of lodging. We can look at some of the key companies that are involved. We can even look at forecasts for the next 5 years. So I think that's one of the main strengths of Passport, is it doesn't just look backwards, it also looks forwards in time. So I would recommend that you have a look at the report for lodging in the United Kingdom. You can see the date is September 2020, so it is taking into account some of the most recent developments with COVID. The next database I'll look at is Mintel, which is slightly hidden on this page. If you scroll down to Resources, it is under Core Databases for Hospitality and Tourism. So Mintel focuses on UK market, and it focuses on the consumer side. So Mintel analysts conduct surveys of what UK consumers think about a wide variety of products and services. So again, we could try searching for hotels. And if we do that, some suggested reports come up on the right here. So we can see that there's quite a recent report on the hotel sector in the UK that is also covering the impact of COVID. So within a Mintel report, you can navigate it in different ways. You can use the table of contents, which has clickable links to different sections of the report. So if you click on any of those, it will take you directly to that section. And you can see it's a mix of data and analysis. I'll go back to the report summary and show you some of the other ways you can navigate it. There is a function to search this report. So you could do this, for example, to look for the name of a particular company. It will then highlight mentions of that company in any sections that they're mentioned in. So you can click through to the section and then see the word highlighted wherever it appears. Going back to the report summary, the final thing here is the data book. So you can see the exact survey questions that were asked. And if we go into the data book, continue without logging in, you can then navigate to the different questions that were asked. And see how customers responded. These tables can be downloaded, they can be switched between graphs and tables, and between counts and percentages, and you can also break it down by demographics. So you can see the responses of people in different age and gender groups here. Now, because you're choosing a specific company as a case study for this assignment, you might also want to look for information on that company. MarketLine has company profiles, generally for larger international organisations. So if you're looking at a big hotel chain, then you'll probably find a profile for them on MarketLine. Fame and Orbis are our financial databases. So Orbis is an international database. So again, you'll find the larger companies on there. Fame covers the UK and Ireland, and it goes down to a bit more detail. So some kind of medium-sized businesses that are based in the UK, you might find on Fame. On MarketLine, the company profiles are under this companies tab at the top. So once you've clicked on that, use the search on the left-hand side to look for the name of your company. And then click on the name of the company. Now, most of them will be at a global level. This has one that focuses on the UK and Ireland subsidiaries. So we can click on that and we can see there's fairly basic information on the UK and Ireland profile. On the global profile, there is more. So you can find, for example, a SWOT analysis for that company. You'll find Fame and Orbis under the Resources section, and then More Databases, Company Accounts and News. So you can search for your company. Be careful to choose the right option where there are multiple options. Generally, the one with the largest turnover and the largest number of employees is the parent company. On here, you can see the company's balance sheet. You can also find out information about ownership and subsidiaries. And you can go into more detail on the financial data. Now, if I was doing this session live, I would normally get to the end and someone would say, wait a minute, how do you reference that? So that's what I'm going to talk about now. So we recommend using Cite Them Right to help you with referencing, because it is what the business school version of Harvard referencing is based on. There are lots of slightly different versions of Harvard referencing, so if you use a different tool, it might be wrong for the specific format that we use in the business school. So use Cite Them Right. It will tell you how to reference almost anything you can think of, from a journal article to a YouTube video or an Instagram post. The kind of databases that we've been talking about today, you can reference as market research reports from online databases. So on Cite Them Right, that's under Research and then Reports, and then you'll find that page. And so it gives you a template showing you exactly what the reference should look like. Use the database name as the author. So if you're referencing a Mintel report from last year, it would be brackets Mintel 2020. There's a blog post here on referencing financial data if you need any of that, because that can be slightly more complicated. And then finally, the last part of your assignment, you need to cite reviews. So There is no Cite Them Right guidance on user-generated reviews. So I've had to adapt existing similar formats to give you some advice here on how to do that. So I think there are two situations. Number one is you want to cite all of the reviews for a particular organisation on, for example, TripAdvisor. In that case, I would cite the page. So Reviews for Royal Oxford Hotel is the name of that page. You would use TripAdvisor as the author because they are the creator of the page. And then you would carry on to reference it as you would with a website. If you want to cite a particular review, in that case I would use the reviewer's username as the author and use the date that it was posted. So there's an example there of what that might look like. So make sure that you reference any information that you use, no matter what source that is from. If you need any help, do get in touch with me. You can contact me at businesslibrarians@brooks.ac.uk. We're also running virtual drop-ins through Zoom on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday lunchtimes. So the link is there and you can just drop in and ask a question. Okay, good luck with your assignment. I hope it goes well.